Imagine stepping into a world bigger than your wildest dreams. A cave so massive it has its own jungle, river, clouds and the weather. This is Son Doong, the largest cave on Earth, hidden deep in Vietnam's national park. The hotel or the room I'm staying at, they give you free bicycles to ride around town, which is pretty clutch. So I'm just going to ride up the road to get some food. We got some food earlier, I got some omelette, but just the scenery, you know, pretty gnarly. Now I think that river leads to Son Doong cave, so tomorrow I presume we cross the river. Can't really see the mountains fully through there, but yeah. Let's go. Oh, here's an opening there. Check that out. Mad, huh? I'm hungry. Don't get dinner till 5:30, or pick up 5:30, so dinner is probably 6:30. So it's 11:30 now. Grab a quick bite to eat, and then we might go back to the room for a sleep. The next day, the trek sort of started by getting a bus out to the western suburbs on the edge of Laos and Vietnam. That's where the hike starts. Then we started trekking down, descending down into the valley. It's our group you can see in front of us. We trekked single file, crossing rivers the whole time. Leeches absolutely everywhere. Good crew we had here, so obviously it was basically a 1-to-1 ratio of safety officers. Because it actually is such a risky expedition we're doing here. It took me 2 years to get on the list for this specific tour. It can take longer or shorter depending on your size of your group. I'm one person, so I was lucky to get on. We trekked for a few hours to a little village. Here we are here. This village has no roads or access to general civilization. They're pretty old school, got their old fences and stuff. The only things they have here that's actually from the Western country is donations from the government, because we have to go through this village to get to the caves. As you can see, the caves coming up there are pointing at now. That's the first entry to the first cave. What type of monkey?
Langur. That's a bit smaller.
Okay. On the first couple of days when you're going through the jungle, you actually hear lemurs and gibbons and langurs in the jungle calling and making lots of noise. They don't come out in front of humans, obviously, but we did see some in the distance up in the mountains. At this point of the trek on the first day, there's a lot of river crossings, and this is the entry to our first cave. So this cave is actually called Hang En Cave, which actually has the largest entrance to any known cave in the world, which is obviously a lot of light distribution. Made it to our first cave. Being trekked through the jungle, through there for like 8 Ks. Now we pull up in here, chuck on our helmets and light, and we go through there for the next few days. It's mad, it's mental. So from this point on, they sort of they give you a briefing about safety, and they tell you to put on your helmet. So they provide a helmet and lights and stuff like that, and batteries for when you go through the cave. So yeah, whenever you enter this cave, you've got to basically put your safety equipment on. So helmet on first. One of the guides actually spoke to us a few minutes later, saying that one expedition he was doing through here, a part of this ceiling actually fell off when they were doing their briefing. So you can see it's like sharded rock in one space, a big shard which was like tons dropped off. Got the kit on. Now we're heading through there. You can see one guy going through, but one guy there and the other team have gone through there. You can see that flashlight, and they go up somewhere. That's where we're heading. We came through this way. Can't focus. That's the entrance to the first cave. And then we go in. So yeah, day one is looking crazy so far. This isn't even the best part. Got my meta glasses on the film, torchlight, and I've got my phone, 2 phones, and my GoPro I'm holding now. See if we can get some good videos. Spent the next 2 hours trekking through the cave to come to this opening, where we descended down this rock face to a little water float thing they pull us across. It's very, very deep here, so they don't even let you swim across because it's up to 300 meters deep. Day 1, day 2 tomorrow when we trek through, continuing through. But yeah, it's our first day, first campsite. Pretty extraordinary. Now, I mentioned earlier that these places flood. To put it in perspective, the water during the wet season is to the ceiling of this height. So that opening you see up there behind me, that's where the water flows in and out of. Hence why you can't do this trek during the wet season. World's second biggest cave with the boys. Yeah. Going for a swim. That's our tent back up there. Third biggest. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that this is full of water during the wet season. Even got a life going and to put it in perspective, we're on basically the last fringe of the dry season. Wet season starts a few weeks later. This is me during the night walking to the little portaloo. There's like a little hole in the ground we use. Walk in here, and then this is my tent as well. We have a tent inside because the bats above actually come in at night time and they poo everywhere, so it protects them from the bats. Leaving the first camp, the boys.
So which one is which? The last one has light. One is ceiling, one is on the ground, right?
The left side is the top down.
Everybody watch your head when you're inside, yeah?
Now, would you look at this view? This is the exit of Hanging Cave. It's absolutely incredible, probably one of the most magnificent views on the trek. So we exit this cave and then we spend the next, I think, 4 hours trekking through the jungle to reach the next cave. At this point of the trek, I sort of felt like I was in Jurassic Park. Like, you'll see what I mean when I pan up here. Just like a place you can't actually experience until you're there. The sheer size of this cave. And just got out of Hanging Cave. It's the first cave we spend the first night. Well, we're still sort of in it. See the size of it. Massive. Now we've got another 5 k's to Son Doong opening. We have lunch and then we go through there for a couple of days. Mental.
Careful.
From this point, we're sort of ascending to a pretty steep part until the entrance of SonDoong. It was actually, very humid, extremely hot. Some of the guys were actually had to have a break. We went very high at altitude. Now, not forgetting this is a 5-day in total trek, so you carry everything out with you and take everything back with you. It's pretty incredible, very remote, no Wi-Fi, no phone access or signal, just
Hello.
and nature essentially, which is exactly what I love and exactly what the people that do this love.
You come in the cave and do some funny shit.
This here is the final site before we go into the cave, and there's actually no turning back. Got all the safety equipment, gives you the weather expectations and what you need to tick off before we go through. Then we have a briefing before we start descending down. Pretty rigorous briefing. You know, the guys are actually very specific on safety requirements and things like that, so it's really, really good. They're very detailed and extremely professional.
Going down there, boys. Yeah, the crew.
That piece right here. Right?
Yeah, just trying to get the crew.
This is where we descend on the honest 300 or 350 meters below surface level. So we're going deep underground. Yeah, you'll see in the coming videos how actually deep and dark it gets, but to put it in perspective, it's 300 meters below surface level. Now we climb and hike and descend through darkness like this for the next 8 to 10 hours until we get to our next campsite, which you'll see soon, and I'll explain what the campsite involves. And the thing with having torch lights as well, torch lights attract bugs, which also attracts bats, so we're constantly getting swooped by bats.
They send the youngest first, apparently.
We are from here, we sat together.
Okay. They just told us that the river's rising real quick and we're gonna get across and we're gonna go real fast, otherwise we're gonna get stuck in here. So I'm not even kidding either. There's 8 guys behind us, the rest of us are in front. You can probably hear the water, it's slippery as here, but it's flat ground now. But yeah, they're saying that if we don't get across this river before it gets too high, then we won't get across, we're gonna go back and stay in the cave in one section for the night. And this place in here can overrun like 30-40 meters above where I am now. Flash flooding.
Yeah, so from that point for the next hour or so, 45 minutes, we were in an extremely big rush to get over this river. There was, we were called in from Laos, the neighbouring country, saying there's flash flooding over there and it's an underground river, so it's about to start flooding here. So we were in extreme panic to get across this river as soon as possible. Otherwise, yeah, the risk of getting swept through this cave increased dramatically. So that's why we're rushing quite extensively.
Very quick. They just told us to hurry up in this section because the river's rising real fast. Let's hope everyone gets... We're at the river now. Look at it. That's the river we've got to cross a bit further up. There's a bridge. But if we don't cross it in time, the bridge is over water, underwater. We'll be cooked. Holy crap. Look at that water, man. Rope off.
Okay,
Holy crap, man. River's rushing. Hectic.
So we made it past the extremely dangerous part. We found out a few hours later that that bridge we crossed ended up being 3 meters underwater just shortly after we crossed it, about half an hour later. So we actually had a tiny gap to needle through, which was lucky. Then we continued to ascend up higher into the cave to a safer spot. And then we looked for our campsite along the way. As you can see, it's pure darkness here. Without these lights, there will be absolutely no light and no life at all.
Thank you.
There was a miscommunication. Yeah. So there was one guy standing here and another one standing over there. They used walkie-talkie to talk to each other. And when they decided to name that formation, yeah, the guy over there said, like, hands of God, yeah. And through the walkie-talkie, he like dogs, and voila.
We finally saw some light for the first time in a long time up there on the left there. That's where our campsite's going to be situated. The light there is caused from a doline. So centuries ago, the cave's fallen in, the cave system's collapsed above, and it's created, this misty ecosystem. Tomorrow morning when we get up there, we'll see the actual jungle that's inside the cave that's collapsed through and evolved. But yeah, this is our campsite for the night. Pretty hectic day this day was, so it was a relief to sort of get to camp and take some time to relax and just take it all in.
After you go, we have the wall over there, yeah?
So this is the next morning. We descended from our campsite and then reascended up into the cave system, to that doline I was speaking about, which is where the ceiling is caved in centuries ago, forming light for a momentary part of the hike. You can see a few of these on the way through, which is quite nice actually to see some, life forms. The life forms that are actually in these dolines are very unique to the cave only, species only found in the cave, so scientists do come here to discover and analyse the species in here.
See way to heaven.
You don't need that mushroom, you might.
what it looks like. Steps here is natural occurring steps from the dripping and the water and the limestone. Basically it fills up, creates these levels, and then it overflows onto the next level and creates this formation that seem like steps.
Okay. Yeah. Already been married. Oh, Mandy.
Turn on the light.
No. We have people climb that one.
Oh, all the way up? Like wall climbers?
They use the ascender.
Oh, okay.
We missed the fault line.
Yeah, sometimes have like a flying squirrel, like flying cops.
Oh, you coming here?
Yes. It's from the campsite, sometimes you can see that, but not it's not like every night, so I'm lucky you can see that. I've seen them like 7 times.
Oh, really?
After like over 10 years working here. So that's why it's rare, right? So it's lucky. Yeah. The big flying hawk. Really it's happened just like 6-7 seconds.
Sounds like next morning, getting equipped for the remainder of our climb through the cave. But you can see what I was talking about with the doline, that there is a full rainforest inside the cave that's got its own ecosystem. We're getting prepped obviously to leave the light once again and go back into the darkness. It's nice to spend the night there by the water and the light and see the moon shining, but now we're getting ready to continue on through.
Call back to see like after the rain restaurant.
Come on, get him!
After the wall. After the wall.
Most people lose their shoes, okay?
This point on, there was actually supposed to be no water in the cave, so it gets progressively deeper and deeper and deeper. So one of the guides had to go through and get the canoes that they have at the very end of the cave and bring them.
No! Woo!
Gooey!
No!
I think they're getting the boat for us. Here it comes.
Phải có người đứng với ai biết bên đây, everybody. Well, one by one on the boat, everybody.
One by one.
Shorty first. Come under me and I'll drop.
Not a safe boat. Good idea, bro.
Huh? Getting up here? Yeah.
Billy?
Yep.
Billy, come, Billy.
Come.
Yeah. Okay, sit face me. Sit backward. Face me. Okay, rồi. Okay, don't move.
Adios, amigos.
Don't move. Stay still. Chưa có giày nữa. Climbing.
Good. Yep. What?
I stepped in the wrong hole.
Oh.
This used to be waterproof.
Why not anymore?
We update the equipment, but they don't like produce this one anymore, so we have to wait for the new batch. Clammy!
Okay. Good to go?
Yeah, if you ready.
Yep.
Yeah. Kid,
How better off going out that way? Up?
that's me. The left. Wait. On the left side, less steep. On the right side, it's quite steep.
Okay. So go.
Climbing. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah. The left. Okay. Now, yeah. So fast, huh?
Huh?
Keep going. Are you okay?
Yeah, good.
Yes. Don't mind, huh?
How are you?
This was the final ascent, and then we continued up out of the cave and trekked 8 k's back to civilization. After the tour finished, I headed back to Phong Nha and then waited the next day and caught an airplane back up to Hanoi, where I spent the next few days just exploring the city, checking it out and seeing what the country's got to offer. Beautiful place here though. This is the Phong Nha river that leads to Son Doong. This is the last day there before we headed off. Man didn't want to bar, but hello. How much are these?
Okay.
For 2.
Đây, cả là.
Dạ.
Ăn 2 xiên nhá.
Thế? For 2. Two.
Đây.
Dạ. That's okay.
Ăn như này không?
Yeah, a little bit.
Đấy ăn đây.
Thank you. So I don't get sick eating street food, but